Yeah, I had this shit on my other channel, man, so I decided to just do it again. For anybody saying, "Oh, nigga, you don't get a lot of hip hop, underground hip hop albums, blah, 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 all that dumb shit," my nigga, we all know that Target or Best Buy don't really have them. Maybe Fye, but you know what I mean. I don't really fuck with Fye. It ain't really one over here. So at the same time, y'all niggas knock that shit off. You feel me? But yeah, other than that, got Lupe albums. I'm not really gonna say too much. I'm just gonna show, the albums and shit, and just talk as I show them. You know what I mean? But you guys still take into account the deluxe version of the albums. How much that they cost. You feel me? If each CD 10, 20, 30, 40, that's already $40. That's 80. So you gotta look at that. How much money that I spent on CDs. And some of these CDs back when they were dropping, you know what I mean? They didn't do the whole 999 special, or whatever. And some of them, I got on release date. You know what I mean? So you gotta take that into account. This is the only album that I ever ordered off Amazon because this was a deluxe version, and they already had sold out in Target, and when I got there they had sold out, like I said. You know what I mean? So I had to actually wait, but I heard the album, so it wasn't a big deal. I think this came in a deluxe version, but I didn't grab it. I didn't. It didn't even leak in a deluxe version, so I didn't know what them songs sound like. So I was like, "Fuck it," you know what I mean? But yeah, this albums, this was the first Rick Ross album that I had. Well, I bought, but this one right here was the one where I knew Rick Ross was gonna be a star. He changed it, just so lyrical, the production, and I always wanted this album deeper than rapping, so I went back and got it. But his first two albums is still dope, but this is the one that set it off for me. And as you see, I got the Triple C album, wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Lil Wayne's, of course. It just seems different, Waiting on part three, it drop next month. I'm definitely gonna get that. To me, the covers is always unique with the self-made. You know what I mean? You got the first star lineup. The only person in it now is not Peel, and by the third one, you should see like more people in it. Of course, Yeezus. I took the sticker off the little shit and put it on there. We all know the Picasso baby. That's J shit. You know what I mean? Oh, my bad. My shit is in my CD player, but I do got it. I was listening to that shit. But damn, I hate when these motherfuckers won't go in there, right? But yeah, man, you already know. Magna Carta Holy Grail was a dope album. Blueprint 3, that's deluxe. It came with 2 CDs. I found out this is Mac Miller's dad, so that's pretty fly. And for everybody saying, "Oh, you should have got deluxe version," kill yourself, nigga. I actually got a PO box. You feel me? If niggas want that shit, or be asking me to buy this or get this, it's a PO box, nigga. You can send donations there, nigga. Straight up. I'll probably put that shit in the description. Joe Budden fan, of course. You know what I mean? Phenomenal albums. Of course, all of Kid Cudi. Graduation. I got all Kanye albums too. Matter of fact, it's just the fucking the college dropout and late registration covers. You know what I mean? They was posters, and I can't find out where the fuck I put them at. I know I didn't throw them away. I just gotta look for them. So those are not in here. They like in a little what do you call it? When you buy blank CDs and a little packet come in. It's like all my other CDs or not, that's not in here is because I don't have the covers for them, and it's a shitload of them, so I can't borrow them over. But yeah, you see it. This was a deluxe version. You know what I mean? Of course, this album was, his comeback album, you want to call it. But to me, it was a good album, but it was kind of depressing and shit. Of course, all Ace Hood albums. Now I did say when I had uploaded the little shit that I didn't pretty like it, but this shit does have great production. The storyline behind it is pretty cool. I love the song about his mom. I gave it another listen, so I won't really bash it when it come out. But it is similar to like what Ace Hood. I will say all the mixtapes he put out his goodest material, and when his albums come out, I think that kind of like derails it in a way. You know what I mean? Cause Starvation 2 is crazy, and I think one of the tracks on here, "Fuck Up the World" or some shit like that, whatever that's called, was on Starvation too. So I don't be liking that. You know what I mean? But of course, Khaled, best album when it dropped for a debut album. You know what I mean? Jay comeback album. Of course, I did this video before, but this where it got left off at. But yeah, man, Cameron, Jim Jones, Dipset. When he was fucking with Vado. You feel me? They first debut album. It was straight. You know what I mean? So I definitely support. I actually went back and got this album a while ago because This was when I was in high school. It was a dope album. Still waiting on part two to this. Player Circle, of course. This was doper than their first one. Y'all remember the Travis Barker album with, the rap features. Styles P Master Ceremonies was dope. Diggy album. To me, when that shit dropped, it was doper than every veteran artist. That dropped. I don't know why I got the Notorious soundtrack. It was just some shit to pick up. You know what I mean? Of course, Mano first album, classic. Yeah, I say I'm not really a Gucci fan, but I actually went back and got some of his old shit. Hood classic. You got the Bird Print too, Ferrari Boys, Waka first album. His second album, this shit was kind of whack. His first one was cool. You know what I mean? But when I pick up shit like that, it's because it was dope. You know what I mean? Uh, Self-explanatory. You got T.I. got all T.I. albums also, but I think all of them in here. Except the only two I don't got is his first two. I'm Serious and Trap Music. But other than that, I got all his other ones. Of course, the two people that fell off, Plies and Soldier Coy, is what I call them. Of course, Cruel Summer, Watch the Throne. Y'all remember Webstar, Alchemist. This album was dope as shit. This is the album that Ludacris, when he was on the Breakfast Club, said that it's a serious album, but it was alright. You know what I mean? Go to both his mixtapes. He should have put part 3 in stores. This was supposed to be the album with him and Shauna, but she dipped out. Of course, you gotta have a classic, man. I went back and got this one. I've been had these two, but of course you gotta have a Block is Hot, Lights Out, 500 Degrees. I got all the Wayne albums from beginning to end. You know what I mean? I ain't heard that in a long time. Classic. You know what I mean? So I support music. You know what I mean? Drake, Tyga, Nicki Minaj. Of course, you gotta have a classic. Somebody else supposed to pick this up when it dropped. They never did. So I got the shit later. What number? $6, $7, $8. Yeah, I support Nicki Minaj. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Can't hate. RP to the king. You know what I mean? Don't ask me why I picked this up. You know what I mean? It got some joints on it though. Like when I did want to be like listen to certain R&B records. You know what I mean? I think that Drake joint on here, but I just picked it up, man. It's I think this was one of his better albums. And I don't really fuck with R&B music like that. It had Nicki on it. You know what I'm saying? Drake, of course. It was a cool album, though. You know what I mean? They got like 3 sections. Here we go again. The pain section, the pleasure section. It was a cool album, man. You know what I mean? I can't front. I think that's when they started to make Trey Songz into this iconic R&B singer, which I don't think he is. Of course, you got the Mystical Ghetto Fabulous' second album. I do have his first album, but like I said, I don't got the cover. That mixtape is fire. Wiz first album. I didn't pick up his second album, which I thought was a good album. 50 last album, Jamie Foxx Intuition album. That was a dope ass album, but the features made it. Birdman. To me, this is the best Dream album. Love King. It just had joints on there that I fuck with. Slaughterhouse, of course. This is Lecrae. Uh, um, what do you want to call it? A gospel artist or whatever, Christian rapper. Dope album. Game last 2 albums. MGK, dope album, very slept on album. The Young Money compilation album, I figured that it should have been one of them. A Young Money album again instead of a Rich Gang. I just get confused. Is it Young Money, then they got YMCMB, then they got Rich Gang? It's too many crews in one thing. It need to be, the Young Money crew, then you got Rich Gang, then you got YMCMB, you know what I mean? Currency 2 albums, of course, J.R. Ryder, one of the most underrated artists in Harlem, Big Sean, So, and that's basically it. Every album after, starting from here, it's like albums that came out or whatever, and I burnt them, you know what I mean? So, I didn't buy them. But shit, as much music as I buy, shit, what does it matter? You know what I mean? Yes, I got have that. Don't. Yes, I have. That was a good album. Damn. Just thinking of this shit. Love After War and then Blurred Lines. She sort of came back quick. That was a good album. One of the dopest albums from an R&B singer. You know what I mean? But don't ask me why. Self-explanatory. They cool. You know what I mean? So here go all like the hip hop albums and shit like that. Y'all be wanting. You know what I mean? So that's basically my fucking CD collection. You know, just wanted to share that with y'all, of course. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. This video probably gonna take a minute to upload. Got Cassidy Whack Ass, Mano's second album, of course, Common. So I hope y'all enjoyed watching my collection. And yeah, I'll holla at y'all.